welcome to Crazy Turtle's Kitchen. Today I'm in the mood for another one of my favorite foods, tofu. But today we're going to make a coconut tofu curry style. So in this saucepan I have, or skillet, I have like a tablespoon of olive oil. And I am just going to saute my vegetables in here. Get them a little bit softer, but not make them too soft. I want them to be a little bit crisp. So I have a chopped pepper. You can use any color. This is what I had on hand. I do enjoy the colorful bell peppers just because they add such vibrancy to a meal. They always say you want to eat the rainbow on your plate. It does help for appetizing sake. And I just just a touch sweeter at times. Ooh, and that telltale sizzle, which I love, love, love that sound. And I will add my chopped onion. Just definitely a big chop. Again, I want a little bit of crunch. My tofu's baking right now, and I have it prepared. I'll put the link in the description so you can see how I like to prepare it because it still retains a little bit of firmness and crunch. I do want these vegetables to stay the same. And then I've got some rice going. So this is kind of my third step in this meal. Just love that smell. And then I'm going to add some sliced baby bella mushrooms because we love our mushrooms around here. This recipe can take a variety of different vegetables. It's kind of why I like it as well. As long as I have some coconut milk and tofu on hand, I kind of just see what I have in the fridge left over and try some different things. But this is a tried and true version with my family. We just enjoy all of these textures and flavors all together. So I will see you back in a little bit once these have sauteed down. Oh, probably about 5 minutes or so. All right, so we are back and our veggies, are so nicely seared. And it's time to layer our sauce. So I'm going to turn this down just a bit right now. And if you've never used coconut milk before out of a can, this is what we want to use. It is normal for it to have a little bit of chunks in it. So it's totally fine. If you've never opened it, did not go bad. It's just the way it is. So I've got a can of coconut milk. I add some soy sauce. I would add chili paste, but I am out of chili paste, so I'm scrambling a bit and using cayenne mixed with a little bit of tomato paste. Those are things I always have in my pantry. Jars of tomato paste are not expensive at all, so they're just wonderful to have on hand for all kinds of things, and especially like thickening sauces as well. I have this lovely ingredient, 2 teaspoons of curry. Oh, and I love the smell of that. And it's such an amazing flavor. It's not something you have in your pantry. It's absolutely worth it. If not for this recipe, there's plenty of other uses as well. And I have my frozen ginger, so I'm just going to freshly grate some ginger as well. I would say about a teaspoon, but I love ginger. So I may have just gone a little bit overboard. All right. And I am going to bring this heat back up and let this bring it to a boil and simmer. So our sauce has been simmering for about 8 minutes, and I went to check on it, and I decided to add a little bit more of my tomato sauce to kind of thicken it. And I did toss in about a teaspoon of cornstarch, and that really smoothed things out. So I wanted to mention that to you because as you're making sauces, they are different on every day, even though you use the same recipe, I feel. So if you're not happy with how something's turning out, in this case, add a little bit more tomato paste, or again, that cornstarch is really nice to kind of thicken things up. But we're going to let this simmer together for a little bit, and then I'll have one more finishing touch to the sauce when it's ready. So this has been simmering for about another 5 minutes, and I don't know, it's almost reduced by half. So I'm going to take that off my heat. You can kind of see that, yeah, we're just about ready. And taste test it and see how much I want to add. So I have a little brown sugar. We're going to finish that, I think, with about a teaspoon. I'm going to work that in there. That cayenne is coming through nicely, but it wouldn't hurt to have a little sweetness to balance it. Yes, I like that. If you want it a little sweeter, of course you can add a little bit more. But always when you're making sauces, keep tasting, because you know your family's preferences, you know your preferences, and that's what you need to go with. I'm going to throw in my tofu here in a second, and I'll meet you back and for the final presentation. So our tofu, as you can see, is nice and crispy and golden. And I'm just tossing this in. Oh my gosh. It smells fantastic. Curry is so wonderful to just kind of warm up your tummy and your heart, I guess. So tossing that in, and I have a bowl here of rice that I've made. And we'll just scoop some of that on. Look how gorgeous it looks. This is fine on its own, or you could serve it with maybe a little bit of sliced fresh basil on top. I think would be lovely. And maybe some naan on the side just to kind of sop up that silky sauce that you just made. Thanks so much for tuning into Crazy Turtle. I hope you're well and to see you again. Take care.